Buddy, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I am the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I am Trunks.
I am Ortiz.
I'm Chris.
That was so loud.
Obviously, this past week. We just had the Super Bowl. Amazing game. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. Congratulations to the future GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. Just super happy that they won. We won a lot of money. I know some other people won a bunch of money as well. Great time. Great Super Bowl. Lived up to the hype completely. But before we even get into diving into that game, of course, we want to update you guys on our final fantasy scores for the playoffs. And in case you guys don't know what the situation is for that, at the beginning of the playoffs, we drafted teams, essentially the same format of a fantasy football league, and we took the cumulative scores of every week of the playoffs for those players and added them up into the end of the entire playoffs after the Super Bowl. And so now we're going to reveal our final scores and what we ended up getting. And, of course, the loser will be punished.
Severely punished.
So, would anyone like to get us started on their cumulative score for the entirety of the playoffs?
Also, Dean's not here, obviously, but Dean cleared.
Dean had like 322,
Yeah.
something like that.
Dean had a good draft. So
Dean is very safe.
So Dean didn't come because he was that clear.
Right before we jump into it, if you are watching on Twitch, please do be sure to leave a like, follow us, don't subscribe, because you can't subscribe.
You could subscribe on
Can you
YouTube.
subscribe on Twitch? You could subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification bell, press that like button, and tell everybody about the podcast. Please, we want to continue to grow, and we enjoy all the supporters that we've gotten. So please, Trunks, lead us off. Let us know what's the numbers for your playoff run.
All right. Well, this week I only had two players in the Super Bowl. I had Juju, who gave me 12.3, and Dallas Goedert, who gave me 12, for a total of 24.3. Altogether, my total for the playoffs was 289.14.
Wow, Dean smoked everybody.
Yeah.
That's
Chris,
holy shit.
Are you ready?
Wow.
You can go next.
Yeah, Trunks, you beat me by .02.
Let's go.
So this week I had Patrick Mahomes, who put up 23.7, Jericho McKinnon, who put up 7.9, A.J. Brown, who put up 21.6, Travis Kelce, who put up 20.1, and Miles Sanders, MVP of the team, with a 1.6, giving me 74.9 on the week, and my total score 289.12.
Okay, so before we jump into it, me and Ortiz saved ourselves for last for a reason. We know we're going to be the two worst here,
yeah.
and I'm saving myself for last because I already know for a fact I most definitely lost. So, Ortiz, go ahead and give me your total score.
So I also had two players going. I had the Eagles defense, which gave me a whopping -1 point. And Harrison Butker, who gave me 7. Which brings me to a grand total.
Wait, before you say it.
Say who you have.
Okay, so I had Isaiah Pacheco and Devontae Smith, who actually both had pretty solid games. I had a total of 30.6 this week. I got 13.6 from Isaiah Pacheco and 17 from Devontae Smith. I swear to God, if I lost because Devontae Smith did not get in the end zone on that fucking deep ball and he fell out of bounds, if you know what I'm talking about.
I did.
we know.
I watched the game.
We know.
I'm walking offset.
Say your score. Say your score.
Okay. I'm gonna go number by number.
Okay.
So obviously 2, because if
Two,
we got
yeah.
less than that, we're bums.
Yeah.
The second number is 3.
Okay, you won. I have 229.6.
Bro, I beat you by 0.6.
Yes, I did the math already. I already knew you won.
Yeah, we did this the other night.
Yeah. That's why I didn't send
When
my
you guys
score.
were at District, we were doing work for the podcast.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. We were just dedicated, and I lost
Yeah,
because of it.
I wasn't even at district. That was terrible.
That
None of us were at district.
either.
We had to leave. But yeah, wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
0.6?
0.6.
I'm sorry. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
Eagles defense gave me 12, 15, and -1.
I feel for you.
The Eagles.
So 26 during an entire playoff run that isn't the worst.
That isn't the
They
worst,
averaged
but
like 8.5 per game.
But they didn't show up when they needed to.
Oh my God, Pacheco and Devontae Smith really came through.
Wow, you're gonna be severely punished.
We were looking at me last week like I
Wow.
was about to get destroyed.
No, I wasn't. I was like, oh, it's gonna be close. I told you last week it's going to be close, and then it
sorry.
was close.
Actually,
Congrats.
well, I don't wish that I lost.
No,
but, like,
congrats. Honestly.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Sleazy's in the chat right now. Sleazy, if you don't know what's going on, Ortiz lost our NFL fantasy playoff thing that we did. So due to that, he has to get severely punished.
Yeah.
So if you have any severe punishments for our friend Ortiz, let us know in that chat.
Yo, I'm actually incredibly
Just
surprised
throw him in a
about
lake.
that.
I'll drown. I can't swim.
Oh, Jesus
That's what makes it severe.
Yo, this is
Yeah.
that's actually wild. Wow. Yeah, wow. Oh my God.
Just wow.
No, I
I
got it.
don't even have words for this.
You guys throw me in a lake, but you give me floaties that aren't blown up yet, and I have to blow them up myself.
That's a great idea. That's
Yeah.
an amazing idea.
I like that.
But yeah, wow. 0.6 is wild. So Bucker really
If he
he
made
made the
wow.
If he made that kick, I would have won money.
kick.
And-
oh my God.
And
Bucker
if he would have made that
cost
kick, I would have won. Everything.
me. Oh
Your
my
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
He failed you.
He did.
On the bright
Jesus
side, though,
Christ.
if Ortiz had Robbie Gold, it would have been the exact same. So me,
Really?
yeah,
Mhm.
we did the math already. So me cheating didn't affect this in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form.
We actually
Wow,
got the
which
same
makes
amount
me
of total
happy.
points.
Good.
That is a super interesting statement right
Mhm.
there. That's crazy.
It's like an ESPN stat.
That is an ESPN stat. Wow, that's
That's
wild.
nice.
But,
Game recognizes game.
So yeah, that was our playoff numbers for fantasy of our draft a few weeks ago. If you guys want to go check that out, you guys can go back and check that out as well if you want to know all of our picks.
Shout out
So-
Joe Cruz.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked myself over with the Mike Williams pick too. I could have.
I mean,
this a
that's
lot
tough.
easier.
Wow,
That
yeah.
was tough.
I
Made
mean,
this a lot
I could
easier
make this
for
a lot
myself.
easier. I drafted 3 Chargers.
Yeah, that's also very true. But yeah. Anyways, so going from one loser to another, we'll go to prize picks now.
We're all
Sorry,
losers for
Ortiz.
prize picks.
We
but-
are all
but
losers.
there's one big loser.
You know, real quick, shout out to Pick Aside before we say anything. Their numbers for the one picks that they make, by the way, are not like insane. Like we're
I've
doing
seen- yeah, I've
3
seen
pick parlays for this.
Yeah.
They're doing 1, and their records are not like overly
It's
impressive.
hard to pick.
It's hard.
No
Mhm.
shot,
Sports are
exactly. So like
random.
I'm just saying the 3 pick
Sports are
parlays
random.
are not
Oh, no,
easy to
no.
hit.
They're hard.
So
I
if
mean,
you hit,
Makes it easier when we have a free square.
Yeah, makes it a lot easier.
Definitely does. But
And it was a lot easier when Prize Picks was just an infinite money glitch.
yes,
When the lines were
when the
so
lines were
easy.
ass, bro.
Yes.
So bad. It was so easy to win on prize.
Shout out
picks,
to the
but-
good old days.
But yeah, anyways, okay, so Trunks is going to give us the rundown for our entire prize pick standings. And
I am the scorekeeper.
so I did go from loser to loser. So Trincali, please do tell us who had the worst record in prize picks.
We'll start from the top.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
start
Oh,
from
we're
the
going to
top.
start from the top?
Yeah, just
I
all
feel
right,
like that
I
makes
just-
most sense.
Yeah, I guess. We already know. We know who us, but I don't know if they do.
Well,
I don't think
I
they would.
don't think
I don't, I don't,
Unless
think- I don't think
they
anyone's
unless
keeping
they keep
track.
score. Who knows?
Oh, Sleazy has a punishment in mind. Oh shit.
does he?
Drop it in the chat.
Oh,
yeah, we
man.
want to hear
All right.
that.
Go easy, Sleazy.
Unless it's crazy.
Bars.
Don't drop
So-
it. That was kind of fire.
It's honestly impressive how terrible we are at this. But the best of us was Matty J. First place, went 6-10.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible.
That's not-
Honestly,
that's
it's
not
not
bad.
terrible.
You probably made profit.
I made profit.
Yeah.
I definitely made profit.
Second place, Chris, 4-12.
Nice.
Wow, I won by 2.
Let's go, baby.
Tied for third is me and Ortiz at 3-13. Now, last place is honestly impressive. It's impressive. Out of 16,
you won 1. There's no way you went 1-15.
out of 16 weeks, how do you only win one time? How do you win once? that's
Bro,
that's impressive.
we've gotten, I would say, like 4 free squares
We have gotten some
over
free
the
squares.
16-week
Yeah.
period we've
I don't
done
know
this.
if it was 4.
It might have
I
been.
think it was like
yeah. Dean went 1-15.
2 or 3, but 1-15.
So he's gonna be severely punished as well.
Oh, Sleazy? Okay.
What did
He's sitting in
said
the
the
sitting in the
Waffle
Waffle House IHOP idea.
That's bro.
Oh, okay.
I've been wanting to do that for like our
The
dynasty
24
or
hours.
something.
Bro, let me get in
I
the
like
right
that
let me
one.
get in the right mindset. I'll be there for 3 hours.
Yeah, bro, I agree with
Let me
that.
let me lock in. I'll be there for 3 hours.
I think
never
what we
eat my
should
way
do,
out.
we should
Pause.
think of like a couple punishments and put them on a wheel, and then spin the wheel and see what we get. What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. That's fair.
No, I do think that's a smart idea.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah.
take as many punishments as possible
Yeah.
that are like
Yo,
doable.
can we since we're all here and it's a democracy and we all voted for that for me, can we vote for Dean's punishment to be shot by a paintball gun?
We just said we were gonna.
We
put
just-
every-
we're gonna
Well,
spin the
we didn't
wheel.
say we're doing this for you.
Oh no,
We're
well
gonna
let's
put
do this one for me. I'll vote on that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna put all the punishments that we come up with
vote
on a
on that,
wheel and
yes.
Yeah.
spin the wheel.
Obviously, you'd vote on eating pancakes. That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a terrible time, if I'm being honest with you. But I mean, you don't want to get shot by paintballs continuously. So, exactly.
But it's quicker though.
I'd rather eat pancakes and sit in a place for 24 hours than get shot by paintballs repeatedly. If I'm being honest with you.
Really? I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't think
That's
you,
Depends how many
crazy.
paintballs.
I don't think you guys would hit me.
That's cap.
I'm
Like, is it?
I'm bobbing
you
and
have
weaving.
to stand there and take it.
No.
Pause.
How many paintballs is it? One each? Two each?
Is it one each?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd rather do
we'll
that.
Figure that
One
out.
each
I
is
think
day
figure
room.
that out.
One
We'll
each is
figure
day
that
room.
out.
But
But we'll spin the wheel. Honestly, we'll do it on a show. We'll do it on
Yeah.
one of these shows. We'll do it live so
Maybe
that
we'll-
they could react.
we'll figure it out by Friday. I say. I think we got
Because
to
I
make a
have
list.
I have like a few
and
hundred sitting at my
figure it out.
house.
Do you have FanDuel Friday here as well?
I'm doing football right now.
Okay, I was just asking. I was just wondering. That was
Oh, sleazy, 3
rude.
hours. That's how long I'd be there for. 3 hours. I'm finishing 21 pancakes.
21 pancakes isn't a lot. That's not
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
So that's doable. But anyways, yeah, that's our final prize pick standings. Congrats to Dean for being the biggest loser. Honestly, 1-15 is incredibly impressive. If you're watching this, Dean, shout out to you. Even though you're not, you're probably at work, but that's incredibly impressive.
Good job,
So,
Dean. You did it.
Incredibly impressive.
Congrats.
Any
So-
of you guys watching this on YouTube, we need punishments. So let us know. Get crazy with it, since I'm not getting punished, so I could care less. Get
Yeah,
crazy.
I
Very-
don't
as
think I'm
brutal
getting
as can
punished
be.
either. I think me and Chris are actually tied at the top of FanDuel at the current moment, so I think we're in good shape. But anyways, yeah. So to the game, the important part of this week, the primary part of this week, the Super Bowl.
That was this week.
Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs pulled it out, 38-35. 38-35. No, stop. 38-35 in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. It was a amazing game. Coming in, obviously, everyone thought that this would be a classic, and I feel as though it lived up to the expectations.
I
Honestly,
agree.
it was everything you could have asked for and more. And a lot of what we said, a lot of the analysis that we gave, ended up coming to truth a little bit. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs. I'll start off real quick and just say that the run game honestly dominated for a lot of this game. Mahomes was special when he needed to be, but he didn't need to be overly special too much in this game. So I ask, what are your thoughts on this game? What are our takeaways going into the offseason? What did we think of both performances for each team in the Super Bowl?
Well, I was talking about this the other day with Chris and Dean, and I don't think Dean's crazy anymore for thinking Jalen Hurts is top 5.
No, he is
No.
not.
He played better than Patrick Mahomes.
He outplayed Mahomes,
Like, he
I
out-
believe.
I mean, no. I mean, he
He
didn't. No,
had-
hold
he had to do
on.
more. He had to
Hold
do
on.
more.
He didn't have to do more. He was just on the field for
Yeah,
A
he
lot
did-
longer.
He did
That's
not
true, too.
outplay
They
Patrick
beat them-
Mahomes,
the
bro.
Eagles.
He
In
needed
my
12 minutes
he needed
into
to
the
do
game.
yes, yes.
12
The
minutes.
Eagles
Both
played.
sorry.
Yeah.
Both of them played near flawless
Yes,
games.
that is
Yeah.
very true.
Jalen Hurts had a costly turnover.
He did.
Patrick Mahomes did not. He did
That's
not.
true.
He did not outplay Patrick Mahomes. So let's not get carried away here.
I-
He played a phenomenal game. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he did not outplay Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was 13 for 14 in the second half passing the ball, and his one incompletion was a throwaway. Like, let's stop.
I will say, though, in a way, it is very true that Hurts was asked to do more in this game. It felt like he needed to do. The running game was non-existent at all. Miles Sanders he went missing entirely.
Yeah, between Ken Gainwell and Miles Sanders, the yards per carry was 2.6.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that Hurts was having to do everything in this game. I think he had 70 rushing yards in this game, as
Yeah.
well as the 305 that he had passing. So, incredible game from Hurts. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing. First time in Super Bowl history that anyone has rushed for 3 touchdowns. I believe it is anyone. If not,
I'm pretty
quarterbacks.
sure he tied the record.
Okay,
And just Super Bowl history.
yeah, so Hurts was special. He was incredible. Some of the throws he was making made absolutely no sense and had no reason to be as good as they were. I thought the A.J. Brown throw was a bit of an underthrow, though, if I'm being completely honest.
A.J. Brown
I thought
throw?
Trent McDuffie,
The first one?
the touchdown.
Yeah.
The deep ball touchdown.
AJ Brown's
yeah.
just really, really good
Yes.
in terms of
Tracking
the
That
ball.
was crazy.
Trent McDuffie just kind of got lost.
Misplayed it. I thought he misplayed it,
There.
but
It was a good throw though.
it was in a spot that AJ Brown could have went and got it. Yes.
I mean, it was
but
just
McDuffie should have had a. I think he should
no,
have had a pick.
I,
on
it
this
was
play.
it was just as simple as AJ Brown is better than whoever's guarding him. Let's throw the ball up to him. I
Yeah.
mean, the ball was thrown towards the outside. McDuffie guessed inside. It was simple as that. It was just misdirection. But the ball was thrown because AJ Brown is better. He's just that guy.
Yeah, that fumble from Hurts definitely turned the game around. Gave the
That
Chiefs
that
an
cost them the
opportunity.
game. If that fumble doesn't happen, I think that drive they go down, they score.
Man literally dropped the ball.
He did literally drop the ball.
No, to be fair, it was on third down. It was on third down, and Hurts was getting closed in on. I think it was by Nick Bolton. I believe
Yes.
Nick Bolton
Mhm. No,
was
yeah.
closing in,
Yes.
about to make the tackle. Hurts fumbled, and then Bolton
Nick
picked the
Bolton.
ball up and ran it back.
You guys are fools for saying the Eagles have better linebackers than the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I
Foolish
gave
statement.
credit to Willie Gay and Nick Bolton and, when we spoke about that too. But I still went with the Eagles, and I wish
That was
I didn't.
arguably the difference in the game.
It absolutely was in my opinion.
Nick
Those
Bolton was
linebackers
huge.
were flying to the football all game. Bolton was, oh my God, the hit sticks that they had throughout the game too was incredible. They played amazing. The Chiefs defense was good when it needed to be. I thought the first half obviously they weren't great, but then the second half I think they only gave up what was it, 11 points in the entire second half.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a great effort. The defensive backs locked up more so in the second half. Linebackers were controlling the run game. Chris Jones was wrecking havoc when he needed to wreck havoc. And obviously he's drawing double teams from one of the best offensive lines in football. And it was, I thought, a great defensive performance. And that's the reason that the Chiefs were able to make it a game like that. And Mahomes was special when he needed to be, as I said. So I will ask, what's next for the Eagles? What do we think? Are there changes to be made in the offseason? Is there a weakness on this team? Kelsey might be retiring. Jason Kelsey may be retiring. Going to evaluate whether he wants to even come back or not. What do we think is next for the Philadelphia Eagles? If any.
Well, I've been saying all year, I was so hesitant to put them as a contender, and I only put them as a contender because you kind of had to by default just because of what they did in the regular season, but they never moved me all year. This game wasn't a surprise to me. Defense was fraudulent.
Awful, bro.
They're fraudulent. Like, it's as simple as that. They have some good players, but I don't know what's next for them. I mean, you keep building around Hurts. You give him whatever money he ever asks for, and then you go from there. I don't really know. Their defense is kind of aging.
It is
So
definitely aging. The defensive backs especially.
I think
And
Fletcher Cox is a free agent too.
Bradbury will be as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting offseason for them.
I think it's going to be super interesting for them. I think it's going to be tough to retain all these guys. I think James Bradbury might end up walking. We'll see what happens. But I think that the Eagles will be back in the title picture next season,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah, I think they keep the same. I think they try the hardest to get everyone back and just run it. Because the Eagles, we talked about this the other day too, Chris. It's the Eagles would beat any other team coming out of the AFC except for the Chiefs. They would have beat the Bengals. I think they would beat the Bills.
I think they. So we spoke about this, and my answer was they definitely have a better chance against the Bengals than the Chiefs because
Yes.
the Bengals' weak point is their O-line. The Chiefs have a great O-line. So, yeah, in that sense, I've been saying all season since the offseason, like going into the season, whoever wins the AFC is winning the Super Bowl. I thought whoever came out of the NFC had no shot. Those AFC teams are just too good. I think the Eagles, like I said, they were fraudulent all year. I mean, the NFC East was the best division in football. That's not a mistake. Look at who they played. They had easy schedules, and it was every team in the division. Every team in the division kind of outperformed their expectations. So I expect them to be in the mix next year. They still have a really good roster, but there will definitely be some regression.
What do you think, Trunks? I want to hear this.
I think they got to sign a better running back, personally.
Or draft another one.
Yeah. Honestly, we're doing hot takes after I got one involving that.
I don't
But
think it's about I think the running backs are fine. I think they have a
I think
great run.
Sanders is decent.
They have a
he's
great.
decent,
He's a free agent, though.
but yeah.
You know, it is funny to me, though, how Miles Sanders had a very good and productive season. He had a very strong season. And people were saying he's like a top 12 to 15 running back, and now this whole narrative's changing because of one bad game, first of all. I said last week, I said that I think, personally, Isaiah Pacheco, I said it. I thought he was the better running back than Miles Sanders coming into this game, and all Pacheco did was prove it. Everything all right over there?
Yeah.
So and all Pacheco did was prove himself, and I don't think you have to invest massive draft capital into the running back position. I don't even think you need to invest massive dollars into the running back position. But sure, maybe you could say that the Eagles can improve their running game, but I don't really think you need a better running back to do that. I think Sanders was good. I just think the Eagles had a good game plan. I mean, I say Eagles. I mean, the Chiefs had a great game plan to stop the run in this game. So I don't know. I don't think it was anything on Sanders. I don't think it was anything on Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell's a very good running back as well, and I think they'll be fine even if they lose Sanders. But I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I do want to hear that hot take later. I'm excited to hear that. I have a feeling it'll have something to do with Saquon Barkley. I thought that's where it was going to go with that.
Super spicy.
But yeah,
Pascal Siakam to the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely better running backs out there than Miles Sanders, but I think Miles Sanders is a damn good player.
Yeah,
he is.
I definitely agree with that.
You know, I mean, look at the last 10 years, the Super Bowl winners and how much they were paying their running backs. So
Exactly.
you don't need a great running back to win a Super Bowl. It's proven by history. So I don't know if that's where they need improvement. I think their linebackers could definitely use some improvement. I was never sold on their linebackers. I know you're the big TJ Edwards guy. You love him, but I think their linebackers are mid, so if you could improve somewhere, it would be there.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
They're good / great roster. Like, they have almost an above average player at almost every position. So there's not much to improve on. It's just getting the job done, you know?
Yeah, what this Super Bowl showed, as I feel like it does every single season, strength in the trenches wins over anything else. And I mean, we were talking about the Eagles' defensive line being the most dominant I've possibly ever seen. And then the Chiefs held them to not a single sack in this game. And that's the best pass blocking offensive line in the NFL this season. And I failed to mention that, I feel like, last week, because I said that would be the matchup, but the Chiefs seemed to dominate that matchup. It wasn't often that Mahomes seemed to be under pressure. He looked very comfortable in the pocket, and when he needed to, he escaped. And, of course, he was a fucking hero in this game because he got injured again and then came back and proceeded to win the game in the second half. So Lav shot me a text right before halftime. I think I said this to a couple of you. And he said to me, he goes, over 1.5 painkiller shots into Mahomes' ass at halftime. And he probably had, at bare minimum, 2 or 3.
I went the under on that.
He's so funny, Pat Mahomes. They had him mic'd up, like, when he got hurt, and he was like obviously I would be screaming like a little bitch too, and then it was just so quick to, all right, I'm fine, let's go, boys.
And it's so funny because it's like the way he says it and does it too. It's just his mannerisms are hilarious.
He's the best, bro. He's the best.
So Mahomes is top 5.
Yeah, welcome to the club. It's about time you joined.
Mahomes
is top 5 all time.
How high do we have him after this Super Bowl?
4.
That's the real question here.
4, I think.
I have him at 3, man.
There's an argument for 3.
Brady and Montana.
Brady, yeah.
I'd take Pat Mahomes over Peyton, man. I really do.
But over Eli?
Peyton's the best regular season quarterback of all time. Like,
yes.
No doubt about it. What does he have? 5 MVPs?
I think it's 3 or 4.
Something like that. A lot of MVPs.
It's some of the most all time.
Yeah, great regular season quarterback. But, I mean, Pat Mahomes, we see this guy just elevate his game every time he needs to. And, I mean, I was watching the Pick a Side podcast. Joel said, Riv told us Joel always has these crazy stats. And it was like Pat Mahomes' EPA was like the best in the league. Or even in history.
Yes.
It might have been in history.
It was one of the.
And then
yes.
the second best is Pat Mahomes against elite defenses. So, like, he always turns. I mean, we've seen him come back in this Super Bowl. Obviously, what was it, 2 years ago against the Texans and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, 24-0.
always elevates
came,
his game when he
came
needs
back
to.
at the last Super Bowl he was in, and not against Tampa Bay, against San Fran. He came back.
Yeah.
They were down by like
Down
10 in the
with
fourth.
like 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I mean, I've been saying it since that game they lost to New England, the first AFC Championship game. Once I saw him go head to head with Tom Brady like that, because Tom Brady's another guy who, once it's playoff time, if he has the ball last, he's going to find a way to win the game. But Pat Mahomes went head-to-head with him, and it looked like if the Chiefs have the ball last, the Chiefs will win that game. I remember we were watching that game in the game room.
Yes, we were. I mean, look, we talk about the fact that that game by itself, right? If it wasn't for a D Ford offsides penalty,
Right.
we could be talking about Mahomes possibly having 3 rings in 5 seasons.
Yeah, because they would have smoked that Rams team.
Yeah.
The Rams were horrible in
They
that
would have
Super Bowl.
smoked that Rams team.
But it was also credit to Bill Belichick for
Yeah.
having such a great defensive game plan and stuff. But yes, Patrick Mahomes could have 3 rings on his finger already in the first 5 seasons of his playing career now. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a talent unlike we've ever seen, and for him to be in 3 to this point and win 2 of them, I mean,
And obviously, like, he keeps getting better. We keep seeing him improving things, but like, there wasn't a learning curve for him. Like,
No.
as soon as he became the starter, he was immediately the best quarterback in the NFL.
it definitely helped that he got to sit for a season behind a pro's pro, like Alex Smith, one of the greatest one of the greatest leaders that
Yeah.
we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, he always talks about it, too, how much Alex Smith helped him. Love Alex Smith, bro.
Yeah, I
Great
mean,
guy.
Mahomes
Great guy.
got and to have Andy Reid, like, let's give credit to Andy Reid for the Super Bowl and Eric Bieniemy as well, because they noticed a fracture in the Eagles' defense and they took full advantage of it by sending receivers in motion. And the Eagles didn't game plan against that, and here we go.
What exactly was happening there?
Okay.
Like, I know it was the receiver in motion that fucked them up, but why was that fucking them
They
up?
did that twice,
so,
didn't they?
So
They did it
typically-
3 times. On the Kelsey
Yes.
touchdown, they sent Kelsey in motion. It was like a different play because Kelsey obviously beat them over the top, but it was the same thing. Kelsey went in motion, and then once that happened, it was burnt toast.
So for the actual football breakdown itself,
It had to do with
I do believe that the Eagles play a certain man coverage, to where if there is a motion, they're supposed to communicate in the secondary to have a switch. So where that outside receiver, if he comes inside, the safety's now supposed to take that receiver and follow him, and the corner would take the inside route. So therefore, the Eagles obviously didn't switch up their game plan, or at least talk about it more, and it would leave those openings. Or for the Kelsey touchdown, it got the switch onto Marcus Epps, the safety, which allowed Kelsey to obviously beat him easier than he would have with Darius Slay. And for the other 2 touchdowns, you don't have a safety anywhere near those guys that are going into motion, because they have to head from the middle of the field all the way
Right,
over.
because
to
they
come
were
cover
sending
that
the
guy.
dude to follow the guy on the 2 touchdowns, sending the dude to follow the guy in motion, and then the guy in motion just stopped on a dime and
Yes.
then went back towards the sideline. And
The
it's a
safety's
linebacker
supposed to get
following
there.
him. Yeah.
The safety or the line, it's supposed to be a switch, and then they're supposed to get there. But when you have guys like Sky Moore and
There's
Kadarius
no
Toney,
chance, yeah.
they can cut like nobody else in this league. So therefore, they're getting right back outside and catching that ball before anyone even has a chance to go and get them. So that was obviously a fracture in the Eagles' defense. They needed to figure that out. And Andy Reid is arguably the greatest coach coming off a bye ever. I think it's 26-4 in his career when he comes off buys, and I've seen nothing like it. Eric Bieniemy, shout out to him. He might get a head coaching gig this offseason. It was just an amazing game plan. They took full advantage of it and 3 touchdowns from it. So, what a game! Like, for real, what a game the Super Bowl was. And you know what? I'll even go so far before the offseason. Obviously, we're going to get into offseason predictions in a few if you guys have no more thoughts about the Super Bowl. But I will ask this. Way too early Super Bowl predictions, who we got next season. Before anything even happens in the offseason, I'll put you guys on the spot.
Kansas City. Actually, no. Fuck that. The Miami Dolphins.
Give me the Bengals.
And the Chiefs again.
I hate that I keep siding with them. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think they'll do it next year. I've seen
I don't know, man.
Did you hear Von Miller say that he saw the script? It's the Bills' year next year. So
Yeah, 6
There's
scripts.
finally
a script on
break through.
Wikipedia, actually. The Bengals are the winners against the Cowboys.
You guys are reading like pre-written drafts. The real script has the Chiefs winning it all again
being the first back-to-back since, oh my gosh.
since Brady in Wasn't Brady 03-04?
It might have been Brady, yeah, since 03-04 with the Patriots. But, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that
Seen
hasn't been
someone
a back-to-back
compare,
since then.
Josh Allen to Phil P. River. It's tough, man.
He's more talented.
Yeah, Josh
In
Allen
terms of
clears.
just the
P.
pure
River
sound.
just yeah.
Same story though.
But, yeah.
A shit ton of yards, great rosters, and the job just not getting done.
It was also injuries this season, which kind of was their downfall a little bit, especially with Josh Allen. But, yeah, I got the Bills. I think I'm going to side with them. Hopefully health follows them. But I could absolutely see any of those. The Chiefs, I could see the
Dolphins.
Vic Fangio. He's gonna
If
change the
Tua
defense
is
around.
healthy, yeah, I could honestly make an argument for the Dolphins to win the Super Bowl next year. And then obviously the Bengals. Joe Burrow will be back. I don't think there's a question about that.
Oh yeah, he will.
But
Where
yeah,
does Travis Kelce rank in terms of tight ends?
all time?
All time. 2-time
Ooh.
Super Bowl champ. What is it?
So Trunks,
I
who
would
do you have
above? Yeah,
above him?
George Kittle.
Gronk.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
I would.
don't think
I would
that's a wrong
say.
answer.
I would say.
Who's-
Hmm.
Who's below him? Who's right below him, Trincali?
Who's number 3?
Tight ends list.
Fuck.
Fuck is
I know
his
his
name?
name. No,
You
I
know
know.
his
I
name.
know him. I know.
you know his
I
name.
know him.
We
Yes, you
saw
do.
him.
Shit, I know we saw him.
Because I know that's the guy that you're thinking of.
Yeah, he played for the Falcons, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Um,
and another team.
That
A
we
certain team that just won the Super Bowl.
I guess the Chiefs.
Yeah. You know it,
I
bro.
know
it.
I know you know
Oh, I
it.
do
Come
know
on.
it. Shit.
And then there's another guy that you could talk about too
yeah.
that was on the Cowboys.
I was going somewhere else.
Fuck. I know
Denver?
it.
I was going over to Chargers.
Yeah, that's another good one.
2 guys on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Say I know once I hear it, I'm gonna be like,
Oh, that's
I
the
knew that.
guy.
Are you giving
because
up?
I do know it.
You're actually giving up.
No,
his
I
first
just need a
name.
second.
You want to hear the first letter of the first name?
Sure.
T.
Yeah, he's on this
His
table actually.
His
Think
initials.
about
Tony
Well,
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tony
but-
Gonzalez is in that conversation. Antonio Gates,
Jason
Kellen
Witten.
Winslow. I don't
yeah,
think
Kellen
Jason
Winslow.
Witten's in that conversation.
I don't think Jason Wins. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
man.
that tier 1 would be Gronk, in whatever order. Gronk, Kelsey, Gates, Kellen Winslow, Tony Gonzalez, and Shannon Sharp.
yeah,
and then the tier
Shannon,
breaks.
yeah, Shannon was putting up numbers before it was even a
Yeah,
passing.
and
league
then
as well.
and then the tier
Before the
tier
tight end
breaks.
was really a
yes,
dominant
before the
position.
tight end was a receiver essentially. So yeah, I mean Shannon Sharp was the trailblazer for a lot of what you see now. So
Him and Kellen Winslow.
Mhm.
Travis Kelce
Yes.
always talks about it. Kellen Winslow really changed
Yes,
the
for
tight end
sure.
position.
honestly,
I
I know the numbers are inflated nowadays,
4?
but I feel like I might honestly say Travis Kelce's the greatest
It's
tight
so
end
close.
to ever live.
I think he's really right there with Gronk. Like
I think he's top 3. I don't know where in the top 3. I don't know who I have anywhere, but he's somewhere in the top 3.
I think he solidified himself at 2.
I think Shannon Sharp's been literally saying, especially after this, that he's the GOAT. Or
Yeah,
like,
it's tough. It's so bro. Gronk
I only
was so
go with
different,
Kelsey
bro.
because of the longevity.
Yeah.
Because of the longevity. Gronk
Yeah.
obviously had far too many injuries throughout his career.
yeah,
But,
but Gronk still
Gronk is
still clears
arguably
him.
the most dominant
yeah.
player we've ever
Gronk
seen.
was different.
Gronk still clears him in touchdowns by like
Yeah.
a lot.
Gronk's wild.
a lot.
Yeah.
Gronk was wild, bro.
Shout
back
out
in his
Travis
prime.
Kelce though. I fucking love
Yeah,
that
no,
man.
Travis Kelsey's
Bro, the
good guy.
routes he was running in that game were nasty.
Just, it's receiver like,
Nasty.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
nasty.
receiver like. But yeah, shout out Tony Gonzalez. Shout out Shannon Sharp. Like all
Shout
these
out
guys.
Antonio
Kellen
Gates.
Shout out
Winslow.
Greg Olson.
Shout out
Shout out
Greg
Greg
Olson. Man.
Olson.
Called a
Shout
hell of a
out.
fucking game.
shout out
Uh,
Kevin Burkhardt.
Yes, Kevin
Yeah.
Burkhardt, Greg Olson.
Used to be
Yeah.
on SNY.
Delaney
Kevin
Walker.
Shout out Rihanna, man.
Evan Ingram.
Oh, bro,
Shout out Rihanna.
the Rihanna
man.
halftime show
Bro.
was fucking
I
immaculate.
loved it.
Amazing.
I loved it.
The
There
Rihanna
are people
halftime
hating
show
on
was
it.
fire.
Which is
people
nuts.
hating
I
on
thought
it.
it was like
You know
one
what's-
of the better halftime shows of the past decade.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Actually crazy. Rihanna's Super Bowl performance had more viewers than the Super Bowl
I
itself
saw that.
by like 5 million.
Really?
By like
Well,
5
that
million
makes
people.
sense. I mean,
No,
I
yeah.
had,
A lot
I
of
had my
people tune in
girlfriend
for that.
texting me like, "Let me know when the halftime
Yeah,
show
yeah.
starts, so I could put it on." So
Yeah,
Why is
I
there a
know.
football
Yeah.
game during this Rihanna concert?
no, I thought it was great.
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
the background dancers could have been a little bit. They were kind of like being a little bit weird.
Yo, the
But-
memes
I
though
thought that
were
was the
top.
point,
The
though. I
memes were
think I
top
liked it.
tier,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
The
had
Super
her,
Smash Arena
Yeah, I was about to say
was
they had her
awesome.
up there like it was Super Smash Bros. Like,
That was comedy.
and she just has hit after hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she
Ain't-
killed the performance.
Ain't no other female artist seeing her in a versus battle.
Yeah,
No.
Rihanna clears anyone and everyone.
Yeah, I would-
it
I
was
would
a
have to
great
agree with
halftime
that.
show. It was really a good game.
Very few men.
It was,
can
you know,
agree
the
with that.
sparks were flying right off the rip ski. Like, it was a really,
Mm-hmm.
really, really good game. And then just ended so anticlimactic.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta talk
We
about
definitely
it.
gotta talk. I think that call at the end of the game was. Yeah, I understand why it was called. I just don't see that's the moment you call it in.
You know,
I don't think that ball was catchable. I know you said Juju beat him. That's why he held him first time.
I saw it because I was sitting with Dean at the table. You guys were up by the other area. So I said to Dean, as soon
I was
as
at the table with you guys too.
Oh, I don't know.
It was us
But
three at the
as
table.
soon as the play started, I said, he got him.
Yeah.
Because Juju burnt the fuck out of him. Juju had a fucking hell of a game.
He did.
Oh,
Like,
he
shout out,
held
held the
happy
second
for
half.
him.
Held the
yeah,
second half.
shout out to Juju.
He's catching
man.
a lot of shit. He had no reason to go on socials and troll Bradbury.
Nah,
No,
I loved it.
that's
I
who he
loved
He
is.
had
it.
no
That's
reason
who
to
he
troll
is, bro.
Bradbury like that.
That's who he is.
I
But
retweeted that
Corvette,
shit.
Corvette.
Shout out
But he-
AJ Brown for standing up for his boy though.
Yeah.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
of course. But Juju burnt him, so like it would have been a touchdown had
Yes.
he not been held.
I don't know
So
if he would have caught the ball, but that's not the point of the
I think
penalty.
he would have been butt ass naked. Like you see Bradbury as soon as he's burnt toast, grab on to
Yes.
him, and that's the definition of a holding call.
So-
it was a soft hold.
I
Like,
think
Yeah,
this
for sure,
that-
for
he didn't
sure.
get
but
much of him.
But it kept him from finishing
Right.
his route.
I
No
think-
doubt about it.
So, you guys said there was 2 holds on. Was there 2 or just 1 hold on the play? In your guys' opinion? Because I think the
It
first
kinda
one.
looked like
could
he
have
got
called
him
it twice.
Yeah.
I think the first one was just establishing position, because I think of the rep. Juju was he ran a
He
whip.
ran a whip and turned it into a fade.
Yeah.
It's me and Milosha's route.
Yeah, I think what Bradbury was doing, he
Shout
was
out to
establishing position on the inside. I don't think you can call. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
that one
once
was
the
a
ref
hold.
Sees the jersey start moving and being tugged on, it's immediately a hold.
Yes.
If
Colin
he put his
Cowherd.
hands on him like this, like flat hands, you know what I'm saying, without tugging the jersey to establish his position, fine. But once you see them start tugging
No, yeah,
on the jersey,
that's
it's an immediate hold.
The second hold, that's where it was. I think the first hold wasn't really a hold. The second hold was definitely a hold. Like as I said, I see why it was called. It was definitely a holding call. I just don't think
It
that's
sucks because because of that we were stripped of seeing Jalen Hurts on an actual
an
last
actual
minute
drive.
drive.
Instead of throwing the ball
my God, that would've
25
been
yards.
phenomenal to watch. And it could have went into OT for all we know.
Yeah.
But Colin Cowherd made an amazing point that I've never even thought about, honestly, on the show Monday. And he said Andy Reid just has it all figured out because when a team is wearing black jerseys, he'll have his players wear black gloves. When a team is wearing white jerseys, he'll have his players wearing white gloves because it blends in. So the
Colors and
Eagles
that, yeah.
players, when they're playing against the Chiefs and they have black gloves on and the Chiefs are wearing white jerseys, it's far easier to see that. So he was like, Sirianni didn't notice these little things, which makes Andy Reid such an amazing coach, which makes Bill Belichick such an amazing coach, because they always make sure it's down to every last detail. This game came down to literal inches in a way. So therefore, I mean, that was an amazing point. I heard that and I was like, holy shit, I never even thought about that. Like something that you don't think about unless you're literally a football savant. So,
Like Colin Cowherd.
yeah.
Yep.
Savant.
I mean,
Trevor Lawrence, top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
hey man, next season. But yeah, no, it was great, amazing game. But yeah, the holding penalty definitely deserved to be called. I don't think there was a question about that. But Juju had a great Super Bowl. He'll get paid this offseason, I do believe, on a decent. I'm not gonna guess numbers, but I think he'll get around 14 to 16 a year for whatever length of contract. But it was a hell of a Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes will be back, probably even next year. We'll see what happens there.
I
But
read the script.
but yeah, so
Something that sucked, the field.
yes.
What was going on with that?
Oh my God.
Jalen
What was
Hurts.
going on with the field?
my
I mean,
God.
I
People
saw
were slipping every play.
I saw all the players change. Most players changed cleats. Jalen changed cleats because he was wearing a half spike when he fumbled the ball, where he dropped it and he lost his footing and everything, and then he changed to a 3/4 spike.
Well, they said Ian Rappaport was on the Pat McAfee show, and they said everyone started slipping in the third quarter, and it was because of the halftime show. Everything being on top of the grass like not having, I don't know fucking biology,
Yeah.
the grass having no room to breathe or some shit like that, and just making
Yeah.
it so I don't know.
It made
I don't know
it
about
made it flat with no
Yeah.
type of traction.
But-
I know what you mean.
But like Pat McAfee, his immediate
I get
response was, they've been doing the Super Bowl. This is what, the 57th Super Bowl. How many halftime shows have we had? Like they
Yeah,
didn't
how do you not prepare
consider
for
that.
this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And people are making it like, oh, this was a statement by the NFL because all the players are saying they want grass,
And it's
so
grass
they made
field.
sure they got the worst grass possible.
Man, Man,
I don't know. It's definitely sucked because it definitely had an impact on the game to some extent.
Yeah. At least it impacted both teams.
So it was
it did.
both ways.
So Rihanna cost me piles, is what we're all saying.
Guess so. Yeah.
Guess so.
Maybe, in a way.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know biology and grass.
But yeah, it was a hell of a Super Bowl. Very happy that we got to witness. It lived up to the expectations, all of the expectations, and that will lead us now that everything is over straight into the offseason. It's offseason time for the NFL. It's time to talk about the draft. It's time to talk about free agency and stuff like that. So we figured we would give you guys a few of our offseason predictions. I won't even say bold. Some of them may be bold, but our 3 of our offseason predictions leading into, obviously, what will be the next NFL season. So would anyone like to start us off? Is there anyone that has a really hot one to start us off?
I think I have one that's gonna bring about a conversation. My first one is the New York Football Giants do not re-sign Saquon Barkley, without the voice crack. Barkley. Yeah.
Where to? Do you know? Or
I
it was just that part.
Anywhere
It
but
was
the
just that
Giants.
They prioritize re-signing Danny Jones over. That was kind of the point.
Yeah. I didn't put this as one of my predictions, but I think it's a reality of the situation for us. I mean, I realistically don't see how you can pay a running back anymore. I mean, we've seen most of these contracts don't end up working out for a lot of these teams, except for really Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb, I guess. But even those teams are struggling right now. You can't pay a running back. I would love to have Saquon back on a fair deal, but you can't overpay him. I don't want Danny back on a super long-term deal either for big money. I just don't think that's the smart move for the franchise. But I would love to see Saquon in a situation where he's going to be winning a lot of games and doing a bunch of things for their offense. So I think the Bills are a good fit for him. I could see that ended up and somehow happening. But, yeah, I mean, it sucks. But I think it's the reality of the situation. I do think we will lose Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I said all season, like, there's no way they let him walk. They have to re-sign him. But then I gave it some thought today, and I was like, like I just said before, past 10 Super Bowl winners, the running backs were making no money. It's just tough to pay a running back. And if the Giants have any hopes of actually being a Super Bowl team, then you don't pay him.
Yeah, and I mean, the Bills, we obviously have Joe Shane, former assistant general manager of the Bills. The Bills never invested heavy into running back. They were always drafting guys in the 3rd round. James Cook was the lone exception, but that was after Shane had already left. So I do think Saquon walks. I think we draft one in the 3rd or 4th round, and we go from there. It sucks. He's the face of the franchise, and he's the leader in the locker room, but you just can't pay a guy that much for that position. So it's tough. I'm going to miss the man. I really will if he is gone.
It's over.
I will actually cry, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be sad as fuck. So it is what it is, though. But you said you had a running back prediction as well, Trincali. Unless you have thoughts on the Saquon situation.
Nah.
Do either of you have thoughts on the Saquon situation?
Not really.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hear. We'll go from one running back to another running back. What you got, Trunks?
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to happen, obviously, but I said Josh Jacobs to the Eagles.
Okay. I mean, I could see it.
I love Josh Jacobs so
I like Josh
much,
Jacobs.
bro.
He's gone from the Raiders.
Yeah. He's going somewhere.
He ain't staying there.
I think after Super Bowl L, they call him up, and they're like, yo, we want you.
Fair point.
Especially with Miles Sanders being a free agent.
Yeah, Miles is a free agent. Jalen Hurts still on a rookie deal. I mean,
They can probably
Yeah.
afford it,
yeah, I mean,
Why not?
I don't hate it, but they have a lot of guys to resign there too. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I just think that running backs are going to start getting squeezed out a little bit more than anything else, especially as we see that teams are just becoming more successful when you don't have to pay one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wonder what Josh Jacobs ends up getting in reality. I don't think it's going to be as big of a contract as people expect. So I don't know. But I like that, though. It makes a lot of sense. Super Bowl L, yo, it's like the Kevin Durant situation.
Exactly.
Yo, come save us. Come
Josh
save
Jacobs,
us, Josh Jacobs.
equals KD.
So
Well,
yeah.
I have one that kind of leads into that with the Raiders just going balls to the walls, trading for D-Hop and going after Aaron Rodgers. Since they're going to lose Josh Jacobs, they're going to just go straight offense and develop one of the best wide receiver cores ever. Yeah. They're going to give up 40
Money.
they're going to give up 45 points a game. But like That's something the Raiders would do.
So that, in effect, spends 90-something million on
Yep.
3 players.
Yep. I feel like the Raiders would do that.
That's
a
more
lot.
than a third of the salary cap. By
Yeah,
the way.
that is a lot.
That was a lot.
With the
Wow.
Raiders, yeah.
And then a lot of draft picks. I'm
I was
assuming.
gonna say you
Yeah.
can't even draft guys to be on rookie contracts because
No.
you're gonna have to trade all
Yeah.
the picks.
I don't think. But how?
They're not gonna have a roster.
They're
if
not.
they do that.
I will ask this: do we think how much? What do we think it costs for Aaron Rodgers at this point? What do we think it costs for Aaron Rodgers if he does decide that he wants to be traded?
I don't know. Like
I don't
2
think it's going to be
seconds
the
and a
Russell
third.
Wilson situation.
2 seconds and a third. I don't know.
You don't think he even draws a first?
Maybe
one.
maybe
I
a
think
first
he at
and a
least
second.
draws
a
first
Yeah,
round
I don't
pick.
know. A first and a second.
Yeah, I'll go like first. Yeah, well, definitely just one first. Maybe 2 seconds, like I said. But
And then D Hop probably a second round pick, maybe even a third, conditional third.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's realistic with draft capital.
balls to the walls.
It's just money is crazy in that scenario.
No, yeah,
It's
the
crazy.
money is crazy.
Has
But
any team ever spent
Made-
that much on 3 players?
the
I
Yankees.
don't believe so. I don't believe so. You could be talking the Rams. The Rams right now are spending that on essentially Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, I believe, and then Jalen Ramsey. Those 4 account for essentially half of their salary cap. But I don't know. I mean, that's 90-something million over 3 players
That's
on
a lot.
offense only. By the way,
Mhm.
so
That
Well,
would be crazy.
Well, I don't see the Raiders fixing anything else with their team. I think the Raiders. Are
I
like,
just
oh,
think they're terrible.
Yeah, no,
think they
I-
should trade everybody.
I
if I'm
agree.
being honest.
I don't like what the Raiders have going on there, and I'm glad Derek Carr is getting out of there. But I just see the Raiders like, oh, let's replace Derek Carr with Aaron Rodgers and make people interested in the team, just for them to go 3-14.
well, speaking of Aaron Rodgers and DeAndre Hopkins, I have them both being on the Packers next season. That was my other prediction. I have Aaron Rodgers staying and D-Hop going there.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I could see that. I actually don't have a prediction for this, but I could see the Giants trading for DeAndre
Yeah.
Hopkins even too. But
I have a
Money's a lot
prediction for
there.
this. I have the Ravens trading for DeAndre Hopkins.
okay,
Shout out D Hop.
They just
He's
signed-
he's the
Who-
Jay
Who's the
Crowder.
Ravens new the Ravens new OC? Whoever dude is, he's very pass heavy.
yes, he
So
is.
I could see them making the D Hop move.
I think it'd be great for Lamar. He needs another weapon there,
Needs
obviously next to
something.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
But honestly, I could see Lamar just getting traded too. I think it's a realistic possibility. I don't think the Ravens would be smart for it, but I think it's a realistic possibility. So I'll actually give one of my predictions that we spoke about the Raiders that leads me into saying this isn't a crazy one. I don't think they get any crazy quarterback. I think they end up going with someone that's familiar to Josh McDaniels. I think Jimmy Garoppolo ends up being a Las Vegas Raider this offseason. That is one of my predictions. Is it flashy? No. I think Aaron Rodgers will be a Jet. There's that. Or Derek Carr, either one of them two. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo ends up in Vegas. Well, we could in the future we could do a whole little quarterback carousel for where we think everyone's going to end up
Yeah,
going.
so
but-
about to do
speaking
that.
speaking of the Raiders, I think the Raiders are going to make a huge fatal mistake, and they're going to give all the money imaginable to the comeback player of the year, Geno Smith.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What do you think the Seahawks do?
I don't know what the Seahawks
Not
do, but I
offering
know that
that.
my take is that the Raiders are going to offer Geno so much money that the Seahawks are like, nah, like,
Wow.
I'm sure if Geno had his choice, he would prefer to go back to the Seahawks than going to Vegas, but there's going to be so much money from Vegas that he can't say no. They're going to offer him everything. They're going to make him like the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league.
Jeez, so we're talking like 38, 40
Yeah.
million.
They're going to offer him
Jesus.
everything.
That would be nuts.
Wow. If that actually happens,
That would be crazy.
you're a fucking prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's why that
That'd
was
be
my last
insane.
one. Now it's just like, fuck
Yeah.
it,
Bro.
whatever.
That would
all
be
from just not
insane.
writing back to making $40 million a year.
That'd be crazy.
Good for
Yeah.
Geno, man. Chris is a prophet, man. I believe it.
I could
That would be
look. I
cool.
could see
That'd
this.
be cool.
I could see the Seahawks in that situation trading up, which leads me into this point. I don't have the Seahawks trading up, but I do have the Detroit Lions trading up. I've actually spoken about this on multiple different occasions, so I feel like this ain't even
Sick hot take.
it ain't even a take at this point. But I formally said that it would be for Bryce Young. I now change my opinion, and I say that it will be for C.J. Stroud. And that leads me right into my next one, which is as Bryce Young will be the third quarterback off the board in this year's NFL draft, right behind Will Levis. So, do I believe that that's how it should go? No, but I do believe the teams are starting to be more open on Will Levis because of his physical traits. So.
Yeah, teams are getting turned off by Bryce Young's height, which is weird because he's been small the whole time.
Yep. Yep.
It just
Yep.
No, you know what I mean though? Like it doesn't make sense to me. They've been evaluating this guy for how many years? You know what I mean?
There's a
They've been
lot of
looking at
pause,
him.
though, given the fact that you have guys like Tua who isn't large. You have guys like Kyler Murray who is also not very large. that
Justin
are
Fields
getting
isn't
hurt.
necessarily.
Justin Fields is 6'3", 220. I mean,
He's
they-
6'3"?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
big
he's
man.
a
I didn't know he
big-
was
he's a
6'3".
big
Yeah,
dude.
no, I agree with
Big
you
dude.
though. Like if I was running a team, I would stay away from a smaller quarterback. But Bryce Young has been the number one pick for
Oh,
the
100%.
whole season.
100%.
So now, like he didn't shrink. So
No.
why are we getting turned off by his height? That's why I'm confused.
And there's reports that he's trying to bulk up to like 210 come NFL season. He's currently at like 190, I think, which is crazy, especially to be getting hit by 300-pound dudes over and over again. So it's
nice.
it's rough. But yes, I said my hot take is that Bryce Young will be the third quarterback off the board in this year's draft, unfortunately. Hopefully he falls far enough for the Giants to trade up for him. That'd be fire, but I don't think that's going to happen. So did everyone say their three or we're all good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We're
all right.
good.
I got a little segment.
Oh, no,
Let's get
man.
it.
Here we go.
Can't look at my phone or
I
two.
know.
Just make sure you don't.
I'm just making sure you do an intro.
Yeah. I mean, not like lean with my neck like a dinosaur. Blind rank these QBs based on their stats.
Ooh.
Player A this season had 4,438 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a 65% completion, and a 61.1 QBR. Player B had 4,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 68% completion, and a 58 QBR. Do you want me to run it back?
Just the last. What are the passing yards?
I'll do
for
it like back to back.
Alright.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
player A, 4,438 yards. Player B, 4,700 yards. Player A, 29 touchdowns. Player B, 25 touchdowns. Player A, 7 interceptions. Player B, 10 interceptions. Player A, 65% completion. Player B, 68% completion. Player A, 61 QBR. Player B, 58 QBR.
Personally, I value not turning the ball over, and he also had more touchdowns. The touchdown interception ratio, I'm taking player A.
I agree.
Agreed.
Can I guess who player A is? I feel like it's Kirk Cousins.
No.
Okay.
It's Danny Dimes.
No.
Not
No.
even remotely close.
4,400 yards.
He had like 3,100
I don't
and
know.
15 touchdowns this season.
Player A was Jared Goff, and player B was Justin Herbert. Let us know who you guys think was better.
God. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I guess Jared Goff is better.
The goofball.
Yeah.
The goofball.
Boy.
All right.
Wow.
Blind rank these wide receivers based off their stats. Player A has 88 receptions. Player B, 106 receptions. Player A, 1,400 yards. Actually, 1,500 yards. Player B, 1,100 yards. Player A, 11 touchdowns. Player B, 6 touchdowns.
Player A.
I think I know who both these players are.
I
too.
think I do too.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably
taking
take-
player A,
Probably take A.
but it's close.
I'm taking who had the more receptions.
Player
Personally.
B had more receptions.
Yeah, so I'm taking player B.
So player
we-
A was, you could guess.
Yeah,
I think. Who do you
Are
think
we
it is?
thinking the same people?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
You guys got it.
Thinking Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Player B was Amon-Ra St. Brown. Player A wasn't Chase.
Was it AJ Brown?
Who did
Yes.
you think?
It was
I
AJ Brown.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep,
so
yep,
player
yep.
A was AJ Brown. Player B was Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Give me Amon-Ra, baby.
All right, this
Amon-Ra
one,
St.
this
I
one's my
literally said
favorite
it before,
one.
too.
Blind rank these running backs based off their stats.
Josh Jacobs.
Player A had 1,034 yards. Player B had 1,035 yards. Player A had 3.8 yards per carry. Player B had 4.9 yards per carry. Player A had 7 touchdowns. Player B had 3 touchdowns.
4.9 carries. That's a very decent amount.
It is.
I'm taking.
Touchdowns.
Yeah. But 3 to 7 isn't that bad.
It's not that
I'm
big of a
taking
difference.
player
I'd
B.
probably go B.
I'm taking player B.
It's only 4 more.
I'll take the efficiency. I'll go with player B. 4.9 yards per carry.
Player A was Najee Harris.
Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
Player B was Tyler Algier.
He had 1,000 rushing yards this
Wow.
season.
Did.
Wow, that was very under the radar for. Wow. I mean, Najee had a fucking dog shit season overall in terms of yards per carry. Came alive in the second half, but
Yeah.
that's why I knew the first one was Najee. I did not know who the second one was. Tyler Algier had 1,000 rushing yards this season. Wow.
Good for him.
That's impressive.
Congrats.
I did not know that. So, but that was a fun one. Wow, Jared Goff over Justin Herbert, Tyler Algier over Najee, and then Amon-Ra over. You said Amon-Ra over AJ Brown, but that was tough.
I don't think that, but
Yeah.
I'm
In
the Russell
that
Cole
case,
guy.
with
Yeah,
stats, yeah,
the
with
point.
statistics, yeah.
Yeah. Do you
So-
guys want to do anything else before we end, or?
Not really.
No?
I got
Alright.
class.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I believe that's everything for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, as per usual, please do be sure, if you're watching on Twitch, to leave a like and follow us. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Follow us on all of our socials in that description below. It's somewhere. Definitely go follow those. Thank you guys again so much for watching. We have another pod coming Friday. Stay tuned. And with that,
Ball game.
ball game.